Namaskaram team. So today we are going to learn how to prepare master data or client data for any type of entity. Before starting with that, we should understand the importance of creating the data. See, we all are working for a professional firm or working with professional firms where for us being a professional, data of client becomes an utmost important thing. See, if we have to safeguard our interest as well as the client's interest, we should be keeping certain amount of data with us for forever. We'll try to keep it forever. The law says different time period for different type of entities. But important thing is that because you are working in a CA firm or any other professional firm, you should be knowing that how to manage the client data, how to protect the client data. That is also important. So where are you storing it? That is also important part. So this is why we are going to check how to prepare master data. And one more thing to add upon it, in case I ask you give me this company's this data, you may take some time to search and then give it to me. It may be half an hour, it may be 2 hours. See, if likewise if I have to ask for 10 companies data, then more than half of my team's efficiency will go only in search of data. So we don't want to waste your efficiency because you people are efficient enough to do some productive activity, not the unproductive activity. So for that matter, we are creating this video where you should be knowing that which data, which folder, how it should be renamed. So that whenever your senior, your team or whosoever asks for data, you should be able to reproduce them within a fractions of minutes. Then your efficiency will go up. Okay. So for that matter, we are creating this video. So you should be able to understand and not forget where which data will be available, and if you are preparing it, then where which data should be kept. So as per the institute guidelines, or which is the general understanding also, that when we are creating data for any type of entity, there has to be two different folders. One folder should contain the permanent files and one folder should contain the year-based files. Permanent files, year-based file, which is known as current file. So what will happen? The documents which are not going to change every year will be kept in permanent file. Documents which will be keep changing only, which will always change on yearly basis, that files will be kept on the current file. So these two segregation if happens, then half of the time for searching of data and keeping the data will be reduced. How are we going to do that? Which document, which folder, which file? I'll show you everything in detail. So let us start. Okay. So whenever you are going to prepare data for any type of entity, today we are going to learn only company data, company type of entity, how to prepare their data. Okay. So in that scenario, you will be getting two things with you to prepare data. One is in the Excel sheet, which is open here, and one is the PDF which is opened here, and one is the Excel sheet which you have to fill yearly basis. Year on year, that Excel you have to update, you have to prepare, and you have to keep in file. And this, it is just for your reference that which file, which folder and what name should be there. So I have created this PDF for your reference only. So if you check here, I have divided it into three columns. One is step, which is to identify the client and identify the associate. Another is how are we supposed to create master file, and the third one is how to give the name of the file. That is also important because as I mentioned already to you, if I have to search for any data, I should be giving the command on my system or wherever the data is stored, and I should be able to get that data. So that is the fundamental purpose for which we are creating this document for each and every client. The very first thing, step 1, we have to identify associate. So as you are working in Gurukul, so you know that Elite Gurukul runs a business school, runs a consultancy firm which is known as P2P. So we are providing services to other professionals. So this is known as P2P, professional to professional. In this, there will be various associates who are associated with Elite Gurukul for getting the work done. So first we have to identify the associate, that for which associate we are creating this data. So say for example, here is the associate for whom you are creating the data. Then second thing, you have to identify the clients. Okay, for this is the associate. This associate has given us 10 clients. So for which client we are preparing this data? So you have to identify the client name also. Okay, am I clear to you till now? Great. Then we will, as a culture, we are building a client coding, so that with the code we should be able to trace the client. Okay, so we were discussing that for any client, whether it is a company, corporate entity or non-corporate entity, we have to have certain folders. So in Elite Gurukul, we have a system of giving coding to our P2P associate, and then we have one more system where we have, if we have to identify this client belongs to which associate, so we have given a coding to the associate client, starting with associate number, ending with the client number. So this is how it works. And in case if you have any difficulty, then you just please let me know. I'll make a video on that also, so that you can be able to understand the client coding as well. So here, after creating a client folder, how it will be created? So you have to create a folder with the above client code. Where is the client code? So this is my client code. This is how I am going to give the coding to my client, and this will become my main folder. That means in this folder I will get all the information, all the documents of this client only. So here when I say you have created a client code, again you have to bifurcate the folder and the document in two different folders. One will become your permanent file and another will become your current file. One is permanent file, one is current file. What are we going to keep in permanent file? Those documents which are not going to change. That means once it is taken, it is going to remain with you forever unless you change it. So say for example, company incorporation certificate, name reservation approval letter, or there are various documents which we can keep with us forever. So that documents will go in the permanent file, and those documents which are changing on year on year basis, those files will go in the current file itself. Okay. So now we have to first learn what all documents will be forming a part of permanent file and how are we supposed to segregate them, because we cannot keep all the document at once and give you khichdi. So we have to segregate each and every document in a folder wise manner, in a document wise manner, so that it becomes very easy for any person to trace the data from that particular folder. So now in my permanent file, how I am going to create folder? First we have to learn that. The very first folder will be your KYC folder, that is know your client, know your customer folder. KYC folder will be created. In KYC folder, first you have to, for the time being you are not supposed to pay attention to master Excel. So first document of your KYC folder will always be a registration document of that entity. So because it is a company will never come into existence unless it has been registered. And how do we know whether the company is registered or not? So the company will always have certificate of incorporation. So the very first document will become certificate of incorporation of company. How are you going to keep the name? How are you going to give the name of the file? So it will be like this. Point number A, because this is your document number A, so you have to mention point number A. In this, because this is your entity, this is your client entity, so you are going to put the name of the client, then you are supposed to put underscore, and because this document is certificate of incorporation, writing complete certificate of incorporation will consume lot of time. So we will in shortcut we will use COI. that is certificate of incorporation. So if my senior, my colleagues, my junior, my client need their certificate of incorporation, then what I have to do, I have to type the entity name underscore COI. I will get the PDF of my respective client. Okay. So this is how it will go to memorandum of association, it will go to article of association, it will go to PAN card and TAN copy of the company. So these all documents are the most important documents in case of company, which all the professionals should have in their data. Okay, because these documents define the scope and paths of the company. So this should be there with you, and copy of PAN and TAN is also required to be kept with you. Now again, when the part comes of renaming, you are supposed to rename it like this: entity name underscore MOA, entity name underscore AOA, entity name underscore PAN, entity name underscore TAN. Okay, so this becomes the primary document for any firm. Now if you see this F to H document, these will appear only in case they are changed. So if my company name was XYZ Limited, now I have changed my company name to ABC Limited. So now my certificate of incorporation will be new, my memorandum will be changed, my memorandum will change, my article will change, correct? Because on these three documents my company name, old company name was written. Now because I am changing the name of the company, it's a big change, so I have to change these two documents as well. So I will get altered MOA, altered AOA and altered COI. If I am changing the registered office address of my company from one state to another state, one jurisdiction of ROC to another jurisdiction of ROC, then again my memorandum will change. Correct? So if there is any change in the constitutional document of the company, then you will find these documents, otherwise you won't find these documents into your database. I hope I am clear till now. Let's move to the next document folder. Okay, so now our next step, because your KYC is done. When we say KYC of any entity, it is entity KYC, not the person's KYC, not the promoter KYC, not the director KYC. It is only and only entity KYC. It is done now. Now the second folder comes your MCA incorporation forms, if available it is mentioned. So those companies which we have incorporated, those companies documents we will be having, then those documents we have to keep in our folder. Because we are going to incorporate a company and it is divided into multiple steps, so we are going to create folders stepwise. Okay, the very first step is name reservation. So whenever you apply for the name reservation, you don't only put an application to the ROC, you have to add certain documents, which is the very basic document of incorporating a company, and that is the object clause. Okay, so in this scenario, your name reservation folder will contain two things. One is your working folder and one is your final folder. Then goes with the incorporation document, you have to create a folder. Then comes incorporation forms as a folder. So I'll explain you in detail how are you supposed to prepare these folders and what all documents will be included into it. So very first thing, because I said first we will go for the name reservation, so your folder number 1 is a name reservation folder. And in this you are supposed to create another two folder. When I click on the name reservation, I should be able to see two folder. One is working, another is final. So when I say working, so what all documents will form a part of working folder? So because client has said me, okay, I want to do this activity in my company. So you please accordingly incorporate the company. So what are we going to do? We are going to draft an object for the client, specifically keeping his needs in mind. We will draft an object clause. Sometimes the names are such that we have to give certain clarification to the ROC that why are we needing this name and why you should be approving this name. So these kind of a clarification letters will also form the part of your name reservation letter, name reservation folder. So see here I have mentioned word file of object clause, and clarification letter if you have prepared any, otherwise only word file will work. Okay, so this will form a part of your working file. Then goes the final folder. In final folder, what you are supposed to keep? The object clause which is in the PDF format, clarification letter which is in the PDF format. Because you have applied for the name reservation, challan will come to you. That also you have to keep in the name reservation folder. And the last and the foremost important thing, which is the approval letter. So once you apply for the name reservation, you will get certain approval letter. So those approval letter also you have to keep in your folder. So your name reservation will contain these many documents. Okay. Then once the name is approved, now the second step is to form or prepare incorporation documents. When I say incorporation documents, so these means certain working files we will prepare for our reference to fill the form and submit it to ROC. So when we prepare certain documents for our reference, it should be available with us only. So say for example, this company is saying this is my registered office address, owner is somebody else, so we have to take NOC from the owner, we have to take electricity bill, and for our reference only we are preparing one Excel sheet which is known as incorporation Excel, in which we are putting all the information at one sheet which we will use in our filing the forms. Okay, so these all information in a working file you will keep. So what all exactly it includes in a working file? Again, because you are going to work upon certain activities and then the final output will come. So in working file, what all information you are supposed to keep? NOC RO, word file, that is no objection certificate for registered office. Then reply letter, sometimes we prepare some reply letters for the ROC and then we keep it in the folder. And then comes the incorporation Excel sheet which is available with us. So you have to keep these three documents in working. And then whatever the final document is there, so the person has given the signed NOC, that will come in the final. The client has signed the reply letter, that will come in the final document. And electricity bill is the most important thing, because when you say that this is the RO address, electricity bill becomes the proof of address. Okay, so that is also required, that we are going to use in Spice Part B. So we will keep electricity bill also. So these are the basic information with respect to company which we are going to keep in the folder of incorporation documents. Once your documents are ready, now we are proceeding to upload, to fill the form and upload the form. Okay, now to fill the form you will require certain information which you are going to take from the incorporation document and you will fill it. Once the form is filed with the ROC, see, version 3 portal is there for company incorporation, where it is a web-based form where you have to fill the form online itself. Once the form is filled, you can download it, attach DSC, and then you can upload it again to the ROC for approval. Okay. So in that scenario, your third folder will come, which is known as incorporation forms, where all the forms which you have filled online will be kept. So when you fill the form online, download it, it will be not signed. So you have to create one folder which is known as unsigned forms. In these 5 forms will come, you are supposed to keep only those 5 forms. Okay. And the second folder, because it is not signed, now you are supposed to attach the DSC, sign it. Then you will create one more folder which is known as signed form, and in the folder of signed form you are going to keep all the 5 forms which you have downloaded, on which you have attached the DSC, and you have to upload it to ROC. Challan will be generated, and those challans also you have to keep it here. So here on an average 7 files will come. Okay, so this is your incorporation forms part done. You are done with this. And now comes, because the company has been incorporated, post incorporation company has to do certain compliance on an immediate basis. So the very first thing is the auditor appointment, that we will discuss later. Second thing is that filing of form INC 20A. Now, because INC 20A is connected with the incorporation, because it is the process which is compulsory you have to follow. So what we have done, we have added one more point as a form INC 20A. So this is your folder, form INC 20A is a folder. Under form INC 20A you have to create now 3 folders. No, only 2 folders you have to create. One is client data. In client data, To file form INC 20A, certain documents are needed, which client gives us. So those documents you are going to keep in the client data folder. Say for example, bank statement is there, company bank statement, RO address photo, director's photo, and few things will be there. It will be kept in the client data, and then final folder will be there. Again in final folder there will be unsigned form, because again you are going to fill the form online, download it, attach the DSC and then upload it. So one unsigned form will be there, one signed form will be there, and one challan will be there. So when you are downloading the form, it is very easy to download the form as it is. It will come with the SRN number and you can keep it. But again, if I have to search the form, because sometimes bank requires this form and we have to share it with the client. So what you are supposed to do, you have to give the form name like this. So this is your entity's form, entity name underscored form INC underscored underscored form underscored INC 20A. This is how you are going to rename the form, and you have to keep it. So in this folder three things will be there. One unsigned form will be there, one signed form will be there, one challan will be there. So when you are going to rename the files, PDF files, you are going to rename both the unsigned form and signed form both. Then when you remain, so you should be able to differentiate whether it is signed or not signed. What you are supposed to do is, the form which is not signed, leave it like that. The form which is signed, you have to add signed before it. So it will be Elite Gurukul underscored signed underscored form underscored INC 20A. This is how you have to rename it, and you have to keep it with you. Okay. Then my step number 8 and folder number 2 is done. Now I am going with the step number 9 and folder number 3, and my folder number 3 is a GST, because clients need GST after certain period of time. So many clients apply for GST immediately. So when you are going to apply for GST, again your main folder will be named as a GST. Under this you are going to create two folders, one GST registration, another GST certificate. GST registration, you are going to put all the working, final and everything there, and under GST certificate you are only going to keep GST certificate only, nothing else will form the part of this folder. See, so here how you are going to name this, because it is a PDF file, you have to rename it again. So entity name underscore GST underscore certificate, your part is done. And now when you are going to prepare the folder for GST registration, you might have to create three folders. One folder will be client data, some data you will take from client. Say for example, you have to prepare signed agreement, rent agreement, or signed consent letter from the registered owner of the registered property. So you need to keep those into client data. And then working folder, because you are going to prepare certain working, you are going to do some working, and then you are going to upload the form to the GST portal. And then the final, the form which you have uploaded and the acknowledgement number which has come, everything you are supposed to keep it in the final folder. So this is how your GST folder will look like. Then next come the payroll registration. So after 2020, in fact from February 2020, Ministry of Corporate Affairs has changed its reporting very innovatively. So what they have done, simply they have given the PF, ESIC, PT registration by default with the company incorporation. So now you are not having a choice whether to take the registration or not to take the registration for PF, ESIC or PT. Law has mandated it that you are incorporating a company. Not now, at least in future you are going to get some certain employees for your organization, and you should be complying with the payroll law. So PT, PF, ESIC, these three registration will come along with the company registration. So in that case, you are supposed to, because you are not going to do any working, because you are not applying, it is by default coming with your company incorporation, because there you have filled certain information. So now what you are supposed to do is, you have to keep PF registration certificate under payroll registration, ESIC certificate under payroll registration, and then PTEC and PTRC. These two with respect to PT, which is a state law, you have to keep it. Okay, now how you are supposed to name these files? So it will be company name _ PF _ certificate. Same goes with ESIC, same goes with PT, EC and PTRC. So your part is done. Okay, payroll is done. This PF, PT, ESIC certificates will come directly on the client email ID. So you have to ask it from the client that, so please share these certificates. We need to keep it in our records. And then comes step number 11, that is folder number 5, where we are going for IPR registration. So there are plenty of companies with after incorporation which apply for IPR, say for example trademark, copyright, or some companies goes for patent also. So in that scenario, we should be having their data of their intellectual property rights, because that is the asset of the company. So we have to create one folder, that is trademark registration. When we create trademark registration folder, here if it is under process, so here again two folders will open. One folder will be of working, sorry, 3 folder will open. One folder is of client data, because client will give you either logo or device or name or mark, whatever it is, the client will give you. So you have to keep one data in the client folder. One is working, and then your final data will come. What will form the part of final document? So what form you have submitted and the receipt, what payment you have made, the receipt of that you have to keep in this particular folder. Trademark will take time to get registered. So if it is not yet registered, if it is not yet approved by the trademark authority, what you are supposed to do? You are not supposed to keep anything here as a trademark certificate. Once the trademark certificate comes to you, you are supposed to rename it as a trademark _ certificate. Okay, so if I have to search the trademark certificate, I will just search the name and I will get the certificate. This is how we are going to make it. So we are keeping everything very simple, easily accessible, easily researchable document. Okay. So if it is under process, your certificate will not come. If it is approved, then your certificate will come, and you are supposed to keep it like this. Another trademark registration, again as I mentioned, you have to make 3 folder: client data, working, and final. Here the data which has been received from the client, you are going to keep that. Here the working, the draft form and other things you are going to keep, and at the final you are going to keep the trademark application form as well as the receipt which has been generated after making the payment. So this is done. So you have to maintain folder like this. And then comes the other registration. What is this other registration? So say for example, few client goes for Udyam registration, MSME registration, LEI registration. Okay, so the other registrations will form part of your this folder as other registration. So what all will come? Udyam, shop and establishment, import export, food license, LEI, or in case any other registration is coming, then you have to mention and type it there. Okay. When I say other registration folder you have to create, how you are supposed to create? Registration folder, like say for example you are going for Udyam registration, so you will mention Udyam registration. In that folder you are going to create client data, because client has given certain data to you, otherwise you don't prepare folder for client data. Then working, because you are before submitting the form you are going to do certain working, certain documentation you are going to prepare, that will come here. And once it is done, your final form will come under the final folder. And once the Udyam certificate is received, so what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to rename it like this: company name _Udyam _certificate. This is how you are supposed to keep. So you are going to create folder for each type of registration, because each registration is different from other. So for each registration you are going to create a folder, and in that folder only you are supposed to keep the registration certificate for particular registration. I hope till now I am clear to you. And step number 30 comes the point number 7 or folder number 7, that is the login credential. So various times we need to work for client, we have to check their, we have to log into their particular account and check whether some notices have come, some intimations have come, or something else, some order has been passed or whatever it is. So we should be having the login details with us. So here we will be sharing one Excel, or actually it is shared with you, one Excel is shared with you, in which these are the bare minimum or minimum login details which is required. So you have to mention it, user ID, password, user ID, password, user ID, password, and here portal name you have to mention. So it becomes easier for everyone to go open this file and check the login ID and password. Okay, so we have kept it in a permanent folder. And after that, okay, after that our step number 14, that is folder number 8 is created. Under folder number 8, what you are supposed to keep? You are supposed to keep the KYC of the directors. How many directors do you have? For those all directors, you have to create a database. So how you are supposed to do? First, the very first and foremost thing, you have to maintain the register of directors. That I will teach you in another session how you are supposed to maintain it. Okay. Second will become your director folder. So for each director, you are going to create one folder with the director name. So if Aarti Vishwakarma is the director of your company, so her name's folder will be there, Aarti Vishwakarma. Okay. And then under my folder, my all KYC documents will be kept. What all generally we are asking when we are saying the KYC document? So we are asking for what all information you are supposed to keep in the folder that we are saying. PAN card, Aadhaar card, voter ID, DL, bank statement, e-bill, index to passport, photo, DIN allotment letter. What all information you can gather from your director, keep every information here. Okay. Photo is must, PAN, Aadhaar is must in that. Rest of the things you have to ask for the client from the client, and you have to keep it in your folder. Okay, so this will complete one folder. Same you have to do for the other director and the third director and the fourth director and the fifth director. Howsoever director you have to mention for each one of them. And once it is done, now our next step comes, that is promoters KYC. Sometimes you may find that the directors are the promoters. Okay. And sometimes you will find directors and promoters are separate person. So how are you supposed to manage the document? I'll tell you that. Here again you have to create promoter wise folder, promoter 1, promoter 2, promoter 3. You have to name the folder as the promoter name, and you have to keep all the documents in that. So what I want to try and explain you here. If the promoter is the third person, is the new person who is not a director, promoter who is not a director of the company, you are supposed to mention all these documents like this only. So your director or promoter name underscore the type of document or the document name will come. This you are supposed to do for all the promoters. If they are not the director, they are only and only promoter, director or somebody else, then you are supposed to maintain all this document. What if your director is your shareholder, your director is your promoter? That means there are not two different persons, there are one and the same person. This person is playing the role of director and this person is also playing the role of promoter. These two persons are same person. Then what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to create folder? Again, should we copy all this information? So answer is no. What all document you have already got there, you are not supposed to keep it here again. Only additional document, and that is your share certificate, will come here. Okay. So I have clearly mentioned promoter wise folder will come, and because he is a promoter, he will get the share certificate. You are supposed to prepare a share certificate folder under his folder. So under promoter, you will find various documents, and at last you are going to get the certificate, and you are supposed to make a folder for certificate. Here one Word file of certificate, which is the draft file, and one signed copy of certificate you have to keep. So these two things will come in the share certificate folder. So I hope I am clear with this. Again, because you should not get confused and get in a doubtful mindset, I have mentioned a note here, and what is the note? This: if the promoter and directors are same, then do not copy the KYC documents, only keep the share certificate additionally, because this is the additional document a shareholder will have. So you have to keep this document additionally. Other thing, if the promoter and directors are not same, then keep the data as mentioned here. So what all data is mentioned here, you are supposed to make a folder and keep all those documents there itself. I hope I am clear till now. In case of any doubt or query, you can ask me your doubt on your query on the comment box. I'll be trying to explain you. Okay. So now till here our permanent document is done. One more thing to add here is that, see, if there are shareholders, there might be possibility the shares will get transferred. Okay, so once the share is transferred or it is under the process of transfer, then what are you supposed to do is that share transfer is an event based compliance which will come under your current year file under the ROC compliance. Okay, so you don't have to be bothered about that. Only one thing you have to ensure: if there is a share transfer, say for example you are preparing the data for the financial year 24-25, and in the financial year 24-25 there has been a transfer of shares between the promoters and between the shareholders, then the new share certificate also you are supposed to add under share certificate document. So your first will be original certificate, second will be new share certificate with the point number 2, so that whenever somebody checks, he will go for the latest share certificate document and he will use that as the compliance purpose. I hope I am clear. So share transfer is there. You are not supposed to add each and every content here. Only one thing, that is the new share certificate you have to keep in the promoter KYC data under the share certificate folder. Nothing else, nowhere else. It is done. So with this, our permanent file folder is done. I hope you are done with the permanent file folder. In case you have any doubt or query, you can put a comment on the YouTube. We will check and we will revert you accordingly. Thank you so much.